Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to do a sword combo. You can, do this if you're creating like fight scenes and you want to have like little sword combats or whatever the case may be. Alright, so let's get right into it. So I have an animation here that I'm working on, and I want to show you guys the little, sword combat in this animation and what I did to make it look the way it looks, right? So I have the character come in, he jumps up, then right as he about to do the attack, you see that there's a big space right there, like a big spacing right there. I barely did any easing at the attack part, I just went straight into the swing. So you're gonna do that most times when you're creating these type of weapons, like fight scenes or weapon combos, that your attacks are going to be much big spacing. Also, when the character does the attack, I also have like ease in, like a ease out when the attack is finished, right? So you can see that the character comes in again to do another attack. As you can see that most of these sword attacks, they're just very big spacing. As you can see, another time again, it's very big spacing, and I double frame, and then I add a little ease out at the end. So now I'm going to show you guys how can you just create this, right? I'm gonna like animate just a little like weapon thing, so you could understand what I'm talking about if you didn't already understand already. So I'm just gonna set up my character here and find my weapon. So I put the character in a little pose here, and by the way, this animation is animated in 24 fps, so just keep that in mind. And as you can see, I'm having a little ease in here at the start, but while you're doing your little easing at the start, you're gonna gradually speed up, and then when you're ready to do your attack, it's just like a big spacing, and you can put like your little smear to make it look more better, you know. So let's create a little ease, and I'm trying to create like a little anticipation thing here where like the character goes back and attacks, and then maybe do another attack again, because I don't want this to be too long. I want it to be like kind of short in a sense, because it's not really hard to explain or really hard to like grasp. I'm just doing this so you guys could understand. And also, like, I have the animation that I'm working on currently, that animation that I just showed you guys. I will upload it very soon. I just been kind of off doing personal stuff, but I'm getting back to it. I really miss uploading. I really miss uploading. It's been like a good amount of days. So I'm glad I'm back to uploading. So I'm gonna start creating more animations, more animation tutorials, more watch me animate. More videos are gonna be coming to the channel, so just stay tuned. So as you can see, you have the little anticipation here, and you can see I'm just doing my little easing. I'm just animating normally, doing my little easing. You can even add double frames too, especially if you're using 24 frames per second. If you want to, it's really a choice. It's really what you want to do. Normally, I sometimes animate with twos or sometimes ones, depends. Or even I do both at the same time, or even threes. You can mix them if you want to. So I'm just gonna create a little anticipation here. make the character go back with the weapon in his hand, and then just gonna do like a big swing, and then he's probably gonna swing up, then you're gonna swing down, and I'm just gonna end it with that. And also, it's good to scrub through your animations. I think I always say this in every single tutorial. In every single tutorial I make, I always say it's good to just scrub through your animation, get a feel of how your character is moving, and see how best you can fix the poses or fix the timing. Any way how you could fix it. It's just very good to just scrub through your animation to see how it looks. And if you have to fix anything, you fix it. That's just really, really good. Really good to do that. So now I'm gonna create the attack. Normally, when people are, when animators actually, when animators are animating like weapons, when they're animating weapons, they normally do the characters first, like the characters movement first, and then they let the weapon, follow along the character. You can do this. There's so many ways you can like animate weapons. You know, you can do this. I do this a lot too. Even if you look at my previous animations where I have like weapons involved in them, I normally create the like let the character move first, and then when I'm finished with the character's animation, I go down into like the sword animation part. Where I let the sword follow where the character is. You can do that, or you can just, manually just animate the character and the weapon at the same time if you want to, of course. But I feel like if you're doing like a fight scene, right, where two people are like using a weapon, or maybe like if you're having like one guy with a weapon versus like three other guys, you maybe would want to do the characters first, like the character movement first, and then you do the weapon with it. But at the end of the day, it's animation is really whatever you want to do. It's whatever you want to make, where however you want to make the animation. Just as long as you have the principles in them, you know. You can see right here that when I do the attack, I put the smear effect on it, right? The slash effect, whatever you the fuck you want to call it. To be honest, I use that as like to show that there's like it coming from that direction, right? That the weapon is coming from that direction. So when you're doing that, especially with weapons or anything that has to do with whatever it is in the stick figure's hand or the character's hand or whatever, you could add those little details to give it that illusion, so that when the character swings the weapon, you have that little smear, and then when you attack again, there's another smear showing like come from that direction. And even though it has like that big spacing, right, ensure that at the end of the attack there's a little easing going on, because you don't want it to be too quick or too like just too like robotic. Even though it's gonna be like a quick attack, you don't want it to be too like way too fast. You just want it to be at a good like timing. You want it to be at a good timing. Even though the weapon is in the the stick figure's hand, and he swings it up. I am also creating a little like overshoot with the character's body, right? So the character's body is moving behind while the lower body is moving forward, right? So I'm creating another anticipation that will go into our next attack. So that would be a combo, right? So that's how you create combos. That's how you create or even start a combo. When you start an attack, then you just smoothly transition into a next attack. That is what a combo is, right? So just going straight downwards with his attack, right? And if you feel like it's too fast when like doing this, you could add like yeah, you could add a little ease into it before the attack, if you want to. But this is just how I animate. Or if you don't want to do that, you could just double frame it. Right? When the attack hits the person or where the attack lands, right? You can just double frame that that frame where the attack lands. So it won't make it look so quick, you know? Give it a little slowness to it. And that's really how you can slow down animations too. If you're animating on a high frames per second, like 24 or 30 or even 40, if you're like that, you could just add double frames, right? As you can see, add the little slash as a character lands that attack. There's one more slash going down, and I'm just gonna put the character into a little resting pose because, as I said, I don't want this to be too long. I don't want it to be too, I don't want to add a lot of attacks. I just want to add at least 2 attacks so you guys could understand what I'm saying with the whole, weapon like animation or sword attack, whatever. So I really want you guys to try this for yourselves as well. Like go into stick notes, create a new animation and try to utilize weapons, try to get a feel of weapons, try to get a feel of easing and spacing and timing. I feel like when I started to animate like weapons, I feel like I kind of got a little better in animating when I started to like get out of my comfort zone, because all I usually do is just do hand combat all the time. Like stick figures, just straight hands, right? Just straight hands. But now, you get out of your comfort zone to do weapon attacks. So you can see here, it's not bad, looks good, it's smooth. There's a little anticipation before like the first attack, and then there's a one in the second attack when the character, goes up with the weapon. Then it goes into a little anticipation pose to go into the next attack, and it smoothly transition into another attack. And looking at this now, I'm thinking of different other attacks I could just add to continue to this combo, and then I could make it be like an animation where someone's getting beat up or whatever. But either way, this is basically it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see ya.